Hello and welcome to the second video in this series about Twitch's new channel point system. If you're not sure what I'm talking about or don't know what channel points are yet, make sure you pause the video right now. Go check down in the description. Well, actually, I guess you should pause after I tell you where it is. Pause, go down to the description, and the video for the first part of this series will be there, and that'll explain everything about channel points for you, hopefully. This video is going to be about 5 things that I think will make channel points better. It's obviously in beta, so we might see half of these things, we might see all of them, we might see none of them. I don't know. But I figure with all of the talk that I've seen about channel points, I figured I'd kind of summation what I've seen here, and give a little bit of a condensed version of everything that I've seen so far, or things that I've personally felt about channel points. I've been running the beta for about a month. No, about a month now? Yeah, about a month now. So, first thing, the timing and points distribution. I know this has been a lot of things, not just in my channel, but in a lot of channels all over. Basically being able to control the timing of when your points are given out and the amount. So you have everything from the little green chest that floats down at the bottom over the area there. You have the normal timed distribution. I believe that's like 5 or 10 minutes that there's a given amount of points given out. There is the watch streak, which is between 350 and 750 points, I believe, at this point. Raids, follows, everything like that. Just being able to kind of control what point value is being given out and when. Because, I mean, you figure if you have a viewer who's a longtime watcher, but doesn't necessarily, follow watch streaks, or anything like that, it might kind of skew some of the items that you have in the points chest. And if you have a long-term viewer, you definitely want to reward them with sub points, or not sub points, but channel points, so that they can unlock sub emotes to make that feel rewarding. But you want to balance it with how much time it takes to get to that point. So I know that's been a big point of contention, is just being able to control the value of your shop in a sense, because right now it's more at the whim of the program. Second thing, sub versus non-sub difference in point payouts. So there is a sub versus non-sub point payout difference in pretty much everything that I've seen so far. The chest payouts, the normal payouts on a time basis, pretty much everything that has a timed-based point payout is going to be in a different value for subs versus non-subs. For some channels, this is great. For some channels, it's not. It's kind of in the eyes of the beholder, but it would be really nice to be able to turn that off, or decide, what the payout is. Is it a 2 times payout? Is it a 1.5 times payout? Is it a 10 times payout? Because you think if you're looking at the concept of sub emotes, that's not as beneficial for subs to be able to buy that because they already have them. But it also, you figure if you have it so that subs and non-subs are equivalent, and non-subs are unlocking emotes, it's more of a way to promote your channel. They have a way to use your emotes and go elsewhere with them. So it gives you the option to really take them elsewhere and to start using them and really, pushing your brand. So the more you give the option to the non-subs to go out and do that, the more it benefits you in the long run. But also it feels like a lot of channel points were, at least in the stock options that you're given, are really, tailored towards the non-sub right now, which is great because it gives you that level. It's kind of, you look at community streamers and partners, affiliates sits in the middle. Channel points kind of helps you be, distinguished from, in the middle. So it gives you that extra alternative. So for the third item, emote options. I had somebody actually mention being able to unlock higher tiers. So obviously you have tier 1, 2, and 3. It would be pretty cool if you could unlock those higher tiers without having to be a sub, because I do think I had a tier 2 sub that mentioned they could edit a tier 2 emote, but a tier 1 sub or somebody that just gets the tier 1 emotes through the purchase, I don't believe has that ability. So it'd be really cool if you could scale the cost of the emotes for the different tiers, so it makes it more worthwhile, but it gives you the ability to unlock those. And then even your tier 1 and tier 2 subs can unlock a tier 3 emote, or a tier 1 sub can unlock a tier 2 emote, or the non-subs can unlock any of the emotes. You should just be able to, choose what you want it to be for cost, or if you want it to be a thing. Maybe you want your tier 2 and tier 3 emotes to be exclusive and you don't want them to be unlockable. Hey, however you want your channel to be. The other side of it is also the ability to do more modifications to the emotes. I know I mentioned it in the first video. The horizontal flip or translation isn't entirely useful for most of the emotes that I've seen. If an emote has text, or if it's only contextual in one direction, then it doesn't make a lot of sense to have it be flipped. Whereas, something like hands or something like that, it can be useful to be flipped. But it would be nice to have a couple more options than that. In the grayscale, unless the theme of the channel is really going towards that, it might not be overly useful. Both are really cool. But right now, I know for most of my chat, the sunglasses sticks out the most. The only thing is they really want to be able to choose where the sunglasses go. For me, I have like a red panda emote, and the glasses get really close to looking like they fit, but they don't quite fit. So it would be really cool to be able to either move it around or kind of get a couple of placement options, almost like a grid system. Depending on which one is easier. But on the other side of that, just having more options to add to it, like a birthday party hat, or different things for different seasons, different decorations, you know, something for birthdays, something for Christmas, 4th of July, whatever holidays there might be. Or, you could even theme it for sports and have, add a football for, football being on Twitch now, or different things like that. Just little things. It may come across gimmicky, but it would be fun for most of the chat, I'm sure. And it gives you that option to just add that little bit of flair, because right now, even though you may have a fair amount of emotes, the amount of customization that you can do to your emote isn't a ton. Now, this isn't to take away from the fact that it's awesome that we get the option to change emotes and kind of modify them lightly. It's a nice jump. But it definitely is, it's a starting point that I would like to see built on. The other thing that people have asked about is longer term unlocks. So being able to pay a little bit more to unlock an emote for a longer period of time. So right now it's 24 hours. Maybe it's 200 points for 24 hours and then 1,000 points for 7 days. So you get a full week. It's a little bit cheaper. You get that little bit of a bonus. But it also goes back to that whole channel promotion or rewarding the people that can't sub that are long-term viewers. Obviously, you yourself aren't rewarding them, but it's through watching you and showing how much of a long-term viewer they are that they do get that kickback of, I feel like I get a reward for being here, even though I'm not able to sub, because there's always those people that are always apologizing that they don't get to sub. Now they can get some of those options that they don't have because they can't sub. Number 4, chat user integration. I don't really know exactly how to word this one correctly, but basically being able to toy with either your look in chat or just chat in general a little bit more. The highlight messages are great, but unless you price that really high, your chat can get a little spammy with highlight messages. I can attest to this. My chat has made sure I know this very well. But it would be interesting to see a little bit more of a way to make it stand out a little bit more. So obviously you can change your own username color across the site. There's a couple of different options. If you have Prime or Turbo, there was more options for different colors. You kind of had a color slider. It'd be really interesting to see the ability to buy the color changer for just this chat. Like if somebody redeems it in my channel, then they'll just change color in my chat. It won't change them across the entire platform. Either if it's just a basic color palette, or if there's ways to do it a little bit more fancifully. I don't know. I know in essence it's possible to do like a gradient color or something like that, but just any way to make it stand out, and people could then kind of create in-stream and in-time moments that are just entirely organic. For a World of Warcraft reference, maybe you do Alliance versus Horde in colors in your chat. Or if people are trying to be a little trolly, they can change themselves to Seafoam Green. And your entire chat can be one color. Or it can be a unique thing where somebody else, in other chats, they are always the same color, but in your chat, there's somebody else that has that color and has, the color seniority in this chat. Maybe you want to change the color in this chat for, just so in this chat alone, you stick out. It gives a couple of different options to kind of make things a little bit different. kind of switch it up and make your chat a little bit more lively and always add more interaction. The other possibility is something along the lines of being able to set out a quantity of like VIP badges. If you don't organically give out VIP, or if you just have a stock that you don't necessarily have people that need them or want them at that moment in time, or that you don't feel it's, the right time to give them out. Maybe you give it as an option to say, I have 10 VIP badges. They'll be in the store, in the Channel Point store, and you can give yourself VIP for a certain amount of time, for whatever cost it may be. Something like that, where it just allows the viewer to have a little bit more control over their chat experience, is always going to be a nice little plus. And finally, number 5, which is probably the most out there one that's going to be a little bit more difficult and definitely is not a Twitch only or Twitch developers only situation. Something along the lines of Channel Point integration with extensions. Extensions have been such a big addition to the site and have added so much more ability to do things as a streamer, content creator, added to games, added to the streams, added to everything across the board. So it'd be really interesting to give developers that are making extensions the ability to then find a way for them to add extension abilities into channel points. Because not all of them have their own point systems or anything like that. But it would be nice to have it be able to integrate in a way that allows you to interact with that extension through channel points and through a currency that is linked to your channel already, and isn't something that might be dependent on the game. Let's say you have an extension that focuses on PUBG. If you're not always playing PUBG, you might not always have the extension on, but your channel points always are. So you still are accruing points that you can then use if somebody then goes back to PUBG and has an extension that can link into channel points. So it kind of makes it so you don't have to have these, 10 extensions that are all interlinked with channel points on it all the time. You can just have channel points, and then they just, whenever you have the extension up, it'll integrate. Like I said, it's definitely a little bit more far-fetched because it requires not only Twitch to allow this, but it also requires developers to then build it into their extension, because while Twitch may allow it, it doesn't mean that it's just going to naturally work because extension developers haven't added it. But it would be really interesting to see what the combination of Twitch and extension developers can come up with, because as it is, there's definitely some pretty interesting ones out there. And I feel like giving access to chat and points on that level would be really interesting to see where it goes. Is it possible? I have no idea. That's why it's number 5 on the list. It's kind of, the list is a little bit more of the reasonable to the less reasonable. But you never know. This is, like I said, this is all in beta, and we might see some of this. We might see none of this. We might see something even more crazy and out there than is on this list. Who knows? But all I know is, after about a month of running channel points, it's been a nice thing to see where it goes and see the interaction. So this is just 5 ideas that I've had and that my chat has come up with, and things I've seen kind of talked about around Twitch. So maybe I'll continue doing videos kind of talking about what I've seen or things in this vein, or maybe this is the last part in this then 2-part series. Regardless, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider liking and subscribing, or just commenting down below things that you might have ideas for. And if I have enough ideas, maybe you'll see another video. Thank you, and have a good one.